please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
95 points on the Nifty, 10,778 is where we are. So, I mean, the big story yesterday, one of the big stories yesterday was the sugar bailout package, which was announced. We have Manisha, who's here, and she's going to take you through an interesting conversation with the chairman of All India Sugar Trade Association. Manisha, morning.
Thank you so much for that, Prashant. Well, yes, we have been talking about those numbers and what a build-up to the relief package, but it clearly did not deliver on what the market or the street was really anticipating. Praful Vitlani, Chairman ISTA, now joins us to give his views on the space as well. Mr. Vitlani, hi, thank you for joining us. We've seen 7,000 crores of a bailout package that has been rolled out yesterday. And if you add to that the production-linked subsidy, we do stand at a rough 8,500 crores. But with the kind of, the arrear numbers that there are and the way the relief package has been rolled out, what is your initial comment on this?
Hi, Manisha. Yesterday's policy was like a central financial budget which need 24 hours to understand actually. Government have given stop loss of 29 kg. It's not a sale price, okay? Which will give 14,000 crores in 1 year from the sugar sales only.
Right.
Because we were at 23 rupees 50 paisa just 1 month before.
That's right.
And in UP at 25 rupees. So this 29 rupees is the stop loss. And this price only will give 14,000 crores to the industry, number one. Number two, the main policy expected today is different. It is a new model of stock holding under monthly release mechanism. This will government regularize the price at production cost average and not below production cost.
Mr. Vitlani, would you say that with these kind of reforms, if you can call it that, we really are going back to the older regime really?
No, actually older time was a watershed moments that are over. That is a 5 years time, tough time was there. That is the over. Now we are into the 7 decade success story over here. It was a practical for 5 years for a partial decontrol.
Sure.
Commodity like sugar with huge population over here, either we can have full control or we can have a full decontrol. If you cannot, remove the sugarcane pricing, then you cannot have the freedom to the sale of the price. Okay. So this monthly release mechanism, which will come under stock holding, that will be a new model under Essential Commodities Act.
Okay.
By monthly release mechanism, government will see that the sugar sold at cost of production and not below cost of production.
Sure.
So this stop loss will be, see, today I'm giving you one example. Today in North UP mills are not selling anything below 31 rupees per kg and Maharashtra not below 29 rupees kg.
Okay.
And I would like to give you a breaking news. Today government has built a interministerial committee is formed which for exports purpose.
Okay.
And that includes the Commerce Ministry, Petroleum Ministry, Agriculture Ministry, Food Ministry, External Affairs Ministry, Shipping Ministry, Railway Ministry and DGFT.
All right.
So domestic part is over, which is 250 lakh ton.
Right.
Now 20 lakh ton of MIQ will be taken care by this interministerial committee.
Right.
And this is all was possible because of Government of India's PMO, Mr. Anurag Jain, our Sharad Pawar ji, Food Minister Paswan ji, Secretary Ravi Kant ji, and Nitin Gadkari ji. I really congratulate them to very good to give new life to the sugar industry by way of ethanol to have a green India dream over.
Absolutely, Mr. Vitlani. So I think apart from what we've heard yesterday, what could really be coming is something that perhaps the industry will look at. So what we understand is that the buffer stock has been the only positive in all of that release mechanism. But if there is something coming in sense of export incentive, then that is what the industry will really want to look at. But thank you so much for joining us and giving us that breaking news, as that clearly is something that the industry would want to look at.
All right, Manisha, thanks very much for that. So that's the update coming in on the sugar space. But we need to get talking about the technicals of the market. A little bit of a come off for the mid-cap index from the highs, but up around 200 points still. Ashwini Gujral is with us to discuss this now. Ashwini, over to you then. What would you be recommending in terms of specific stocks today, as well as the Nifty, considering that we're now closing in on almost 10,800?
See, there's no buying on the large cap indices because you are up 200 points on Nifty in the last 1.5 days. Bank Nifty also now you are quite a distance away from yesterday's low. So that way, possibly if you hold these things from earlier, then that's fine, but I don't think fresh positions can be taken here. Now, since yesterday I've been saying that mid caps will rally, so that is the segment that you need to focus on. Large caps, at higher levels, will find it difficult to get past resistances. So that way, tighten your stops. Don't let it the Nifty fall below, say 10,750, and say the Bank Nifty below 26,600, so that you protect some gains. It's basically sideways market, but I would think that mid caps could have a couple of more good days. So that way, Adani Enterprises a buy with a stop of 118, target of 130. Things where there are short positions like ICICI Bank for several days went down, and that is a buy with a stop of 285, target of 302. And Axis Bank is a buy with a stop of 538, target of 560.
Okay. Ashwini, with regards to the mid-caps, you mentioned this yesterday as well, where you expect the pullback to probably continue for the next 2 to 3 days or maybe longer. But net, do you expect this to be a sustainable pullback?
Well, it will sustain for 2 or 3 days. See, this year is sideways. Don't get overexcited by rallies or declines. This is a consolidating market. It had a wild ride, and now things are coming back to equilibrium. They will not fall off the cliff. You will not get to new highs. So this is the life we have. 300-400 points on the Nifty.
Okay. Thanks very much, Ashwini. We speak again in about an hour. Appreciate your time here on the show. We've got, just a 5-odd point a change here or there, but 95 points, so it's super strong. Advanced decline has gotten a bit poorer. So it was almost 1740 stocks to about 350 stocks in favor of advances. It's now 1660 to about 400 advanced decline. All right, we'll see if gains hold the way they have so far. We take a very quick break here. Up next, we discuss fundamentals. Sachin Shah is fund manager with MK Investment Managers. He joins us when we return.
Well, Sachin Shah, fund manager, MK Investments, is with us to talk about the current status of the markets. Sachin, hi. Thank you very much for joining in. Well, it's been a pullback for the mid-caps 2 days running now. Do you think that you're maybe becoming a little confident? Is it time to probably see some bottom fishing and there's some value emerging now?
Well, it has been a fairly good price correction, I would say, for the mid-cap and the small-cap space in the month of May, and we also had seen some bit of that happening in the month of March. So in that sense, it's been a good continuation, I would say. We've seen that in the last, if you don't consider the last 2 months, months before the January, so in the calendar year 2000, small caps were actually running, way ahead of time. And from that perspective, actually, this is a good opportunity, I would like to say, to actually pick up some of the good companies which are now probably available at reasonable valuations if, investors are ready to wait out for next 3-4 years. But yes, if somebody is believing that, it's going to be a strong bounce back in the next 1 quarter or so, I doubt so, because the mid-cap and the small-cap stories will now again have to perform in terms of their earnings for the next 2-3 years before that euphoric kind of mood actually comes back, is what I would like to believe.
Right. Sachin, you've been in your fund, you've taken a gradual kind of approach to deploy money into the market. And I'm sure that's been a conscious way to do it. So tell us, you're a bottom-up guy. So what are the stocks? Name a few top quality ideas for us in the mid-cap space where you're convinced that things are set to go right.
Yeah, hi. So, we had raised our alternate investment fund sometime in the mid of January, and at that point in time, as you know, the mood was very, very euphoric, and we took a very conscious strategy that we need to be a little patient in terms of investing in, basically because the valuations were not giving us decent amount of risk reward at that point in time. But as the month of March came and as in the month of May, we have got some decent opportunities. We've made some 4 or 5 investments. So, I can tell you some of the sectors that where we've invested. So we've invested in, rural auto-facing companies. We've invested some bit in travel and leisure. We've invested in the contract research and manufacturing space. We've invested in logistics as a space. So these are some of the spaces that we have identified and some of the businesses that we really have identified, particularly some of the mid and the small cap companies in this space, which we believe that over the next 3-4 years hold decent growth opportunities. These companies also have decent operating cash flows and free cash flows, and they also are actually nearly debt free, I would say. So where you believe that the businesses are actually very strong, generating decent amount of cash flows and the margin of safety now with the current valuations, we are making gradual bets over there.
Okay. Sachin, what about the monsoon theme? Any specific calls that you're taking with regards to that?
Well, we would not like to preempt anything, but last couple of years we've had a decent monsoon, although distribution was not probably as one would like it to be. If you talk to some of the agrochemical companies, they'll tell you that the distribution was not as they would like it to be. So hopefully this time the distribution will be much better, and monsoon does have a decent amount of economic impact and also some bit of sentimental impact in the overall economy of ours. So keeping our fingers crossed.
Sachin, so can you name names? I mean, back to my earlier question. Top couple ideas, after this mid-cap fall.
I would like to avoid that because of compliance. I don't know what I can say and what I cannot. That's why I just spoke about some of the sectors. And within that sectors, I've mentioned some of them where we are really positive about. Okay,
you should name the names and then say that, be advised that we own all of them. So I think then you're in the clear. Just kidding. Sachin, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you joining in with that perspective on the market. We are going to take a very quick break here. I mean, 97, 98 points higher on the Nifty, 10,780 is where we stand. We are joined by Sudhin Choksi of Group Finance,